Hello, everybody. This is Wellington Nidza from Computer Science Zimbabwe, and welcome to Spring Boot tutorial. And today we'll be looking at monitoring the performance of our Spring Boot applications, and we'll monitor using an important module in Spring called Actuator, and we'll scrap the metrics from Actuator to our into Prometheus, and we'll build a beautiful dashboard using Grafana. So these are the three steps that I'm going to take you through in this tutorial. The first one, actuator, the second one, Prometheus, and the third, Grafana. So as you can see on my dashboard here, it's this is quite a fully finished project. The project it's the project, it's about Spring Boot application. So as you can see, these are just it's a controller for Spring Boot, the CRUD operations, and in this project, I'm going to add actuator. So to add actuator, you're going to just add it as a dependency in our home.xml file. So here I'm going to just add dependency. So here it's Spring actuator, and the group ID is Spring Boot. For the version, I don't need it. I'm going to add this dependency. So the dependency has been added. So for us to configure our actuator, I'm going to, in properties here, I'm going to add management dot uh, endpoints endpoints dot web dot exposure dot include, and equal to uh, my endpoints is not quite good. So this is the endpoints. So what I've done, just did right here, is to add actuator into our application. And so what actuator would do is it will just do its mechanism and expose the endpoints for for the metrics, um, for our metrics endpoints, for our health endpoints, all the endpoints that are there in the actuator module. So I'm going to run up the application. So as I run, I want you to notice on our console here, you will see that there's an endpoint that will be created with slash actuator. So that in that endpoint, like this one, exposing 14 endpoints with best path actuator. So in this endpoints, that's where we get the metrics that we are going to monitor. So I'm going to to our postman so that I can show you these endpoints. So I'm going to share my screen and show you the 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 uh, these endpoints in our postman. So as you can see here, uh, this is the uh, this is the so I'm going to put so HTTP um, localhost uh, 8085 slash actuator. So I'm going to hit these endpoints and see what actuator is installed for us. So as you can see here, you can see all these endpoints exposed. There are 14 of them, and that's where it's expose the metrics in our Spring Boot application. You can see there is a loggers, there's metrics endpoint, there's scheduled task mappings, all these things they are there in Spring Boot in the actuator. So let's us just try to exploit one endpoint, this health endpoint. I'm going to click it, and let us hit and see what it is for us. As you can see here, you just saw in the status of our application that our application is up. And let us look at another endpoint. uh, I'm going to look at the metrics endpoints. So here I'm going to look at the metrics. I'm going to click this metrics endpoint and hit it. And as you can see, these are metrics that actuator will monitor for us. So I'm going to just copy one of the metric, this one, just the JVM info. And in this, I'm going to look at this one. I'm going to click this one, this endpoint. So in this endpoint, this where I'm going to put my JVM info and hit. And I here have the JVM info for our application project. So let me look for another one. So here on the metrics, which one can I let me just say CPU usage. What's the CPU usage? So this one, let me go to this one. I'm going to put it here. So let me just hit. So here you can see this, the information, the recent CPU for virtual machine. So as you can see this, what actuator have for us. You can see these endpoints are exposed for for our application that is running. So I'm going to just go back to our application and discuss some of the few things that you can do with actuator. So I'm going to go to actuator here. Let me share. So here, the most important thing about actuator, you can also take the best path for our for our actuator that we don't want to expose the actuator here. Want to expose maybe another endpoint where we can get those foreign endpoints, which this process will be much better for security. Uh, to say our the metrics or the performance, the monitoring of our application will be in endpoints that we ourselves know other than other people know. So I'm going to say .web uh, dot base dot base base path. Here I'm going to say monitor. Just say monitor. So if I run this application, we'll see what we have. So here we have an error here. The best path must start with the slash. So okay, yes, that's so I'm going to put a slash here. So let us run again. Uh, that's good. So if you see here, 14 exposing 14 endpoints beneath the best path flash monitor. So if we go to our postman, let me go to our postman. Postman. So if we go to our the first endpoint, I think this one we said actuator. Here, if we hit this endpoint, this will be not found. But if we say now monitor, we have all those 14 endpoints. So here we have configured our actuator to have our customized endpoint. So let me go back to our application. So so here you also can decide to say on our on this here we've exposed all the 14 endpoints. We can decide to exclude some of the endpoints. So we can here you can just say here, let me just copy this so I don't want to type. I'm just feeling lazy to type, but anyway, it's quite good. So I'm going to just say exclude, dot exclude. So here we exclude. I'm going to tell the endpoint that I'm going to exclude. For example, the info endpoint, the beans endpoint. Uh, so let me just run. So I have to comment this one. So let us run. So expose. So let us go to this one, this endpoint, and see what we will see. What our application, what endpoints will be there. So if I hit monitor, so if you see here, some of the endpoints that we're seeing here, we're seeing earlier on, they are not there. We have removed them, and here we can just see this monitor and the health endpoint. So this, does this help you? It just help you the most essential endpoint that you want to expose for security. Because if you allow these endpoints to be exposed, but anyone can access them, uh, actually hackers can use the metrics in your information in your application, um, and yak your application. So we are going back to our application. So these are the actually, if you read the documentation from Actuator, you can see there are some of the many things that you can do with Actuator, and you can do with Actuator, and you have fun. So I'm going to just comment this one. Okay, let me comment this one, this endpoint, this one, and comment this one, and expose all the endpoints and leave it like that. So now, what we've just did, we have just explained the concept of an actuator. So now want to to tell you about another one, where we can store these metrics, uh, in these metrics in a library called Prometheus. So Prometheus, it's a library where you can store all the metrics of your application in. And what Prometheus does, helps us, is it has a mechanism that it can integrate with different dashboards. And also Prometheus by itself, it can also, you can also view the metrics in a dashboard. But it is of much important that you can integrate it with Grafana and other dashboards. So now we're going to discuss Prometheus. So here I'm going to add, our dependence. I'm going to add micrometer. So a micrometer, it's a dependence that, first one, I'm going to add uh, micrometer, micrometer, uh, registry observation, registry. So let me look for micrometer. Okay, registry Prometheus. So micrometer. So this one. So I'm going to not put this one. So this endpoints will expose the actuator or actuator matrix into a format that can be handled by Prometheus. So it expose an endpoint that will allow us to integrate uh, uh, Actuator and Prometheus, and it will scrape our metrics in a format that uh, in a format that Prometheus will handle. So I'm going to add another one, which is micrometer. So so micrometer, micrometer observation, micrometer observation micrometer meter observation. So this one. So the artifact ID. So here I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna put the version. So this one exposes, creates the endpoints for for the observations that will be happening in our in our application. So um, these these two works hand in hand. The one that it helps us to scrape the actuator data in a form that Prometheus want, and micrometer also helps us with the metrics and with endpoints to scrape our data. So here I'm going to load this and endpoints. So now we have installed Prometheus. So now the other thing that we're going to do, we're going to um, to install Prometheus in our application, in our system. So for us to install Prometheus, we're going to make use of Docker. Docker. So here I'm going to share my screen and put a command to install Prometheus. So um, so let me show you the command line. So this is my command line. So for you to 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 run this command that I'm going to run, first you have to install Docker in your machine. So I'm going to say Docker pull prom slash Prometheus. So I'm pulling an image of Prometheus to my machine. So since I've already put the the image, so this is what we have. I've put the Prometheus image. So now what I'm going to do now is to configure to scrape uh, what our actuator have, all the metrics that are going to be collected in our application and store it in Prometheus. So as I have already said earlier, Prometheus it's a saver. We're going to say it's a saver that will store the metrics for our application. So this is the process that we've done so far. The first one we have configured uh, actuator in our application, and for us to be able to collect the metrics, the metrics that actuator had for us is to install a micrometer. Micrometer uh, will will configure the metrics that our application have to be suitable for Prometheus to store. So now we are on Prometheus. So we've put an image for a Prometheus server. So now we're going to go to our application and configure Prometheus into our application. So I'm going to share um, up the screen for application so that configure um, we can configure our application to store to put these metrics into a Prometheus server. So now I'm going to just add a file here. I'm going to say Prometheus, Prometheus dot YAML. I'm going to configure a YAML. So here I'm going to say global, and on this global I'm going to say scrape interval. So 5 seconds. So what I'm just telling um, evaluation interval, I'm going to say just say 5 seconds. So I'm going to explain this is first command that we have put here. is to say when the micrometer is when Prometheus is scraping our metrics from our application, it will want to scrape this application, these these metrics in interval 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. So that's it. And we're going to say uh, script config. So for script config, we're going to put the job name. The job name. First one, we're going to scrape the Prometheus. I think that's a good spelling. And here static. Going to say um, static configs. So for the static configs, I'm going to put the targets, and the target, 5 seconds here, the target here, the target I'm going to put in quotes here, 172, the IP, 172, 127.0.0.1 port 9090. This is where Prometheus server will be. This is the Prometheus server. And another one, say another job name, job name. Now, this is this is the monitoring for our Spring Boot application. So here I'm going to just say, we give it the name of just the application is just student app. So this is the application, and here I'm going to just say scrap interval. We're just going to put 5 seconds. Um, then I'm going to put metrics path. I'm configuring the path that micrometer we have to expose to to Prometheus. Here I'm going to just say slash actuator actuator slash let's just say metrics. And the other one, I'm going to say state config. Here, I'm going to targets. So here, I'm going to say um, um, uh, hosts. Going to say hosts dot docker dot internal. So this one would pick the IP of our the Docker image. So here I'm going to put a port 8085 like this. So here we've configured our application. So if I run this application, so here our path should be a string. So I'm expecting to see an error. So let me just put this anyway. Okay. So that's it. Um, so that's it now. Uh, so okay. There's something I'm noticing here. Here we have to put this one in quotes because this it's a string actuator. So metrics, or let me just say actuator Prometheus. So that's it. Or you can just name it the way you want. I just name it because uh, to say the actuator, it's putting data to Prometheus. So if we look here, you can see that if I go to Postman, uh, okay, I will not be able to see this when I hit Postman, but for now we have configured our application uh, to scrape our metrics into Prometheus. So now we have to create to run an image. Uh, so let me share a command line command. So want to configure to make this configuration that we have did here to be configured in our Prometheus server. So I'm going to share here. So I'm going to say Docker run minus D. So minus D just to we just tell the image to run in detached mode. So detached mode is just to say the application run in the background. So here I'm going to just put the name, just say Prometheus, and here I'm going to say uh, P port that we're going to run. The port that we're going to run there, uh, it's port, which port I'm going to run. I'm going to say a porty, let's say porty 20, sorry, minus P port, the port 2016, and this is the default port for Prometheus. And now we say minus V. So now we want to to tell our Prometheus server that use this configuration that we have we have configured. So I'm going to go to our application actuator here. So I'm going to copy the absolute path for this application. So this absolute path, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to our application here, to our command line. So here, I'm going to put it here. So now I'm going to say slash etc slash Prometheus slash slash Prometheus uh, slash Prometheus. Suppose that's where the default Prometheus slash Prometheus dot YAML. So this is where the uh this is the location where the default Prometheus YAML will be stored. And here we say from our image is from Prometheus uh dash that config dot file. So here we want to tell it to use the config file that we have installed there. So I'm going to say slash etc slash prome Prometheus slash Prometheus dot YAML. So here we have run okay, this name, let me just say name Prometheus. So this one, let me just say put the name that is quite say pro this could say student, just say student Prometheus. So it's just a name, Student Prometheus, and this is the port that we're going to run 2016, sorry, and minus V. We are telling it, our Prometheus server to use the configuration that we've created here and here. That's it. So let us just click. So here, if you see an image has been created, if you say Docker PS, say Dockers. This is Docker PS. So if you see here, you can see there is a on one of the image that is running. The image, our image here that we've created is now running on port 2016. So let me just clear this clear. So let us just go to our HTML. So to a browse and hit that endpoint and see what will happen. So now I'm going to stop to share my screen and share a browser. So I'm going to share a browser. So yeah, we've cleared this one. So I'm sharing my browser. So I just shared the browser. So they just say local hosts at port 2016, like this. So as you have hit this, you see here with Prometheus image that is running. So if here, uh, this is what Prometheus has installed for us. So we have collected the metrics that is in our Actuator and we've put it in a Prometheus save. And here you can see that Prometheus has offers us some graph. So first, before I go there, I'm going to show you the targets. Here in the targets, you can see that our application here, it's running, and this one, it's running. And here you can go so to this graph, and here you can try to see, to just query one of uh, one of the things that you can see from our application. You can see these ones Prometheus to scrape all these from our application. So let's just look at one thing. This one. Let us execute it. So if we execute it, so let me just um, run this. So if I put a graph here, you can see this. Here we have a graph to monitor. We're monitoring then JBC maximum connections. So here I'm going to select another thing here that we can monitor. Uh, what else? I'm trying to find something that you can see that have too many things. Let's say the JVM info. Uh, Actually, the JVM info have nothing to show in terms of graph. Let's say the free disk bytes, the disk. Okay, here I'm going to remove these for this and press execute. As you can see here, it's a graph that has been it's showing what our application is all about in terms of disk free bytes. Also, you have to know that Prometheus is its query language from Square, uh, where you can write your query language and you can query whatever you like. Um, so this is all about Prometheus. So let us just do another thing. Let us try to monitor some of the things. Uh, I'm trying to find something that is interesting here, but as you can see there's so many things here that are there that that Prometheus is collecting from our application. There are so many things in terms of the CPU usage. You can just see it execute in terms, we want to see it in terms of a graph. This is the graph that is being displayed. So we have done the second step. We have scraped all, we can say all our our data from the application into Prometheus server. So this is the Prometheus, and there's so many things that you can do with Prometheus, and uh, you can monitor anything, anything. So now we're going to another step that we're going to 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 put to make use of Grafana, to make use that it will display um, uh, our performance in a nicer way, and we're going to make use of some of the dashboards that Grafana has for us. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go to the command line so that we uh, can run Grafana. So I'm going to say Docker run uh, Docker run. You can say minus D, the name. You can say this is the name. Okay, so name this name will say uh it's student Grafana, Grafana, student Grafana. You just put a name and you say minus P. Want to say to run it in port. What port can we put it? We can just say port 80, 90, and the default port for Grafana it will be is 3000. And here we just say Grafana slash Grafana. So here run this image, but yes, that's it. And if you say Docker to see the processes that are running in Docker, you can see this student Grafana is now up and running. Uh, it's um, it's this one that is running. So now we want to go to our browser uh, and um, and see to see our dashboard. So this is it. So that's what we are seeing here. So here I'm going to. So this is the. I hope you can see my browser. So I'm going to say localhost. So here we're saying our Grafana is running on 40, 80, 90. Here, so here we have just installed Grafana. That command there. Okay, let me just go. Let me just explain some of the few things before we go to this. Um, where is my CMD? So this is my CMD. So um, w- this command that we have run docker minus d, this one, even if we don't have Grafana installed, it will it will first install uh, uh, the Grafana image and we run it. That's it. So to just explain the step that we did, first we have configured actuator on our application, And we have introduced micrometer. Micrometer, we said it allows us to integrate actually to scrape the metrics from application into Prometheus, and we have configured Prometheus, and now we're on Grafana. So now what we're going to do with Grafana is to take the metrics from Prometheus and display it in our Grafana dashboard. So I'm going to share the uh, the Grafana. So this is the Grafana. So the default password for Grafana is admin and admin password. So you can change it. So here it's asking me to change the this password. I'm just going to skip this. Actually, you can change yourself. You can change them if you want. So this is the dashboard that we have with uh, with uh, with Grafana. So here I'm going to add some connections to add the data source here. So I'm going to add the data source. So the data source that we call the way we're getting our data, it's this Prometheus. So I'm going to say this is the name of our data source. I'm going to say here, I'm going to say, what can I say? I'm going to say student Prometheus, student Prometheus. This I'm just naming this because probably you might have so many applications that you have configured with Prometheus, and so you have to know the data source where the data source for each application. So this is just the name that I've put here. I'm going to put uh, where the application um, that is running my Prometheus server. So I'm going to stop to share this and run on my command to see the IP of my uh, that is that is um, that is given to my machine. So here I'm just going to say IP config. So here the IP that I've been given is this one. I'm going to copy this IP. So I'm going to go to Grafana. So here I'm going to say just HTTP like this slash this IP, and the port that is running our Prometheus server. It's what again? You can just look here. It's 2016. So that's it. You can say just say 2016. So now we just leave it like this and we save, test and save. So we can see that successfully create the Prometheus API. So here we will configure our data source. So now want to create a dashboard. So here I'm going to just create a dashboard, add a visualization. Okay. Um, that's it. So here if I just move step to step to step. So here I'm going to just show you some of the things that you can do with Grafana here. Uh, so here we have some of the from SQL. So here I can just put a query here. I want to monitor less. I want to monitor the disk space. Here I can say run query. So this is the dashboard that is being displayed, and I can save this dashboard. I can say this one. It's monitoring disk uh, disk free bytes and save it. So this is the dashboard that I've created, and also I can add I can add another one. Just say add visualization. So here I can select a metric that I want to monitor. Here, let me just look at another aspect, the JVM. Let me just look at the JVM. What else? What else can I monitor here? There are so many lot of things. So I'm trying to look for something that is very nice that you can show us some of the things. So here I've uh, put JVM. So I say run query. So this is the data that has been displayed. So on this panel, can I can save it and save it as whatever I want. But the good thing about Grafana is that Grafana is already some template that we can use and we can monitor our Spring Boot application. So here I'm going to say Grafana, Grafana, Grafana dashboards. Okay, here just say no, not this one. Grafana, Grafana, Grafana dashboards. So here, which word dashboards? Let's say dashboards. So here, Grafana Labs, you can see the dashboards. So use dashboards. Okay. So this is uh where we can find uh Grafana dashboards. So here I'm going to select here. So here you can see this is the Grafana page, and I can select uh so here you can just look at the dashboards. So here, if you look, some of the things that we're doing here, you can find the documentation for whatever we've been doing. So I'm going to here to application here. So this is the dashboards. So this is the dashboard that we've created. This one, and let us go here. We want to create a new dashboard. We want to import it from Grafana. If we click this here, you can see some of the dashboards that are there already there from Grafana. Here we can just choose the data source. It's Prometheus. Let me look at here. Prometheus. Also, here you can search for on Prometheus. You can say search for Spring Boot dashboards. Spring Boot. So Spring. So here you have this first one dashboard, which Spring Boot monitor. This one, we have another ones here that's customized to monitor Spring Boot. So I'm going to just look at this one. I'm going to select this endpoint, this one, not this endpoint, this dashboard. So to select it, you just have to go here and import the dashboard template. You say you copy the ID and you go to our Grafana here and you say here you put the ID and you say load. So here I'm going to give the name of our dashboard that we're going to create. So this one is student application statistics. Just say statistics and endpoint metrics. So here I'm going to say import. Sorry, here I'm going to specify the data source that we have. Here we have this student Prometheus. So I've configured and I say import. So here we've just created a dashboard that we monitor all what is happening to our application. So here, if I look here, our application uptime uh, it's been 25 minutes, and the start time, this is start time, the heap memory, and this is the CPU. And if you go to here to some counts here, HTTP request counts, you can see here. So here, this is the JVM statistics. Here, some Macarpo statistics here and some log statistics here. You can see all these the info logs, error logs, all these in this dashboard. So I'm just going to hit some few endpoints on our student application. Uh, and I want you to notice on our this HTTP server request count there. If you see here, this is actually the endpoint that is being hit. Uh, Now it's this actuator, Prometheus, because that's where we are scraping our data that is coming here. If we can say here we have counted the number of hits that have been for our application for this endpoints actuator. Now it's 207. Uh, if we look again to be it will increase. If we look at this time now, it's 255 to correspond this time 255. If we look again, it will increase and increase because we are collecting this we're scraping our data each and every 5 seconds. So I'm going to just hit the student endpoints. So I'm going to share our our year our year. So I'm going to change this and just say student, and hit this endpoint. I hope I think this endpoint is not there. Student, it's not found. So let me just confirm to our application. Let's just confirm to our application and see endpoint that we have created. Okay. So let us confirm here to application student controller. You see we have student. I think we have this endpoint students. So it's students, not students. So let me go to our um, our postman is students. So it's students. So here we have it. Let me hit it probably 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let us go to our Grafana. Just want you to notice Grafana dashboard. Grafana dashboard. This is our Grafana dashboard. Here you can see that you can see another endpoint have been added here of students. If we go here, you can see that the endpoint that have been we can see here is students, and we have hit students about 5 times. Was hit 5 times, and the first one that we the one that we hit that it gave 4 that one. And here you can see some of the things. You can monitor so many things, the heap. And this is the importance of Grafana. And here this is the dashboard that we have created with Grafana. So this marks the end of our our tutorial. So this is Wellington Nidza. Don't forget to subscribe and share um, our computer science Zimbabwe page. And to just give a summary of what we've just did. First, we've configured our application with Actuator, and we've added micrometer to scrape the data, the data from our application into Prometheus. And we have added Grafana so that we collected the data from Prometheus and display in Grafana, because Grafana is already built up template that you can use to monitor our application. So this is Wellington Nidza signing out. Bye. Have a good time.